Hello, Leo. How are you? Okay. So, thank you for being here. I love you. This reading, okay? Riches are going to be coming to you because you have figured out how to be the exception. You naturally are the exception. We're going to see what this means. So you could be somewhere and someone starts a conversation with you, and this person, they're going to tell you that you did the right thing. So there's in the recent past, there is this energy of a fork in the road. And did you make the right choice? And this person is going to come up to you and tell you that you made the right choice because you did. And this is so interesting that these cards are, you can't make this up. Mountain Road. You're on the road to success and chain of events that will affect your life. A chain of events are in motion now that will affect the rest of your life. Romance celebration party. Look at this fan here. There's like elegance here. People that have fans that look like this, they're rich. Riches. They have riches. They have carriages, is like the way that this energy is coming across. I'm seeing now Pride and Prejudice, Keira Knightley in Pride and Prejudice, and she's being the exception, She's not like anybody else, and she ends up being with Mr. Darcy. They end up being, love of each other's lives. Okay, it's so beautiful story. And he says to her, the dad says, you will have more fine carriages than Jane could ever imagine. He says that to her. So there's something here about her not being what everybody else wants. There's something here that you symbolize. Your journey, your life mission has to do with this. And you have the death card and the journey card. So what this is saying, death is a transition. It's the door to who you actually are. So you represent the opening of the door to what people really are. You could have a locket with a key, necklace, or there's something here about a locket with a key, necklace that can be a sign for you. There's like winning energy here, something here about creating an opportunity for you, creating a position for you. It's like this energy of people, somebody wants to work with you, and it's like they want you to do something here because it's like your energy has inspired something. This is the way that this feels. Yeah. I was getting this energy earlier of like clay pottery, of like a clay pottery wheel. Somebody making pottery, And people that make pottery, they love their lives. That's something that you do because, you found this inner rhythm, this inner peace. There is like this kind of calm, but at the same time, it's almost ancient, it's almost primal, all at the same time. And your energy is like that. There is something here about you embracing those different sides of yourself in a way that is unlike any other human being. Keira Knightley is very like she walks around, she walks everywhere. She's definitely like her own being. But there is something so like primal about her, but at the same time in the movie Pride and Prejudice, in the book, her character, Jane. No, not Jane. How am I going blank on this? Anyways, who knows? But I can't believe I'm going blank on that. Lizzie, Elizabeth. Okay, Lizzie, they call her Lizzie. So, there's something here about that. There's something so sophisticated at the same time. This piece of knowing who she is. People that do pottery, there's peace there, you know. But at the same time, what she is offering is so elevated, you know. It's so advanced. This just like a woman being bold and speaking her mind and having so much to offer that doesn't seek validation from anyone. You know, it's very advanced, but it's very ancient at the same time. Is her energy, and this is your energy. And this is the thing is this is a gift that you're giving the masses here. And this feels like I usually don't get this energy from this card, but this feels like this is you. There's something here that are gonna remember you. People remember you, but it's something more than that. You are embodying some kind of a movement here. I'm seeing a platypus here, and Cleopatra is coming in now. So Cleopatra embodies a movement, but it's very contradictory at the same time. And so does platypus. And there's no other animal like a platypus. You know, the way that a platypus exists and what they do, you know, I don't know. They send like electrical pulses in a way that no other animal does. So there's something here about an inner rhythm that you have. But at the same time, a platypus has been around from like, you know, I think like dinosaur times or, you know, way back there. You know, it's not like a new species here. This thing has been around. Couldn't be more ancient, but it's like they haven't really evolved or changed at the same time because they've been so ahead of their time and so in a league of their own, you know. And this is the thing is Cleopatra kind of represents that as well, but in contradictory ways. You know, it was ancient times. It was ancient times. And she, you know, we're still talking about her today. So there's something here about you getting a lot of attention. What you put your energy into, look at this, love. Love. It says affair, but it doesn't, this card does not mean affair. It means love, like the kind of love you want. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Look at this discrimination. There's something here about this. Wow, 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 wow. It's a very elusive energy. It's like mysterious energy. There's things about the platypus we still don't understand. Science still can't explain. Okay. Yeah. So there's something here I didn't realize there's so many cards here. There's something here about there's like an ego that you're using in a way to your benefit. Egotism, enthusiasm, enterprise, and friendship here. Wow. Wow. You know, and Cleopatra is this kind of energy too. And this is causing riches to come to you. Look at this. I'm telling you. And Cleopatra has figured this out as well. You know, if you consider amongst animals, the platypus is very rich because they're still around, they're still thriving, they're still doing great in life. And they're still having this mysterious, you know, it's like, you know, when you go somewhere, this is what it's showing me now, kind of like New Girl. Not the TV show, but I guess it could be like it. But like, you know, when you go somewhere and you're the new girl, you're the new guy, whatever, and you have this elusive, there's something different about you. You come from a different land, you know, and everybody is like, whoa, who's that person? But after time, it wears off, right? And there's somebody new comes in, you know, and like, dang, I was the new kid until this guy showed up. Like, screw you, man. Get out of my town. But Okay, so there's something here about the platypus and that energy. It's almost like an alien species came here and is thriving amongst us all and connected to us all, but elite at the same time. Your energy is like that. And there's something here that you're passionate about that is going to have this kind of energy. There is nothing else like it. There's no competition for it. It will be known. It will be known worldwide. Riches will come to you for this. And some of you, your aura is just exuding this and this is coming to you. And some of you, this is something that you're going to do. It's elusive and it's mysterious and it is contradictory. So don't be afraid to be contradictory because people will love it. Is what this is kind of saying. It's kind of like Cleopatra, okay? Cleopatra wasn't even Egyptian, she was Macedonian. Not even Egyptian. And, you know, when her father died, you know, Caesar could have put anybody on the throne that he wanted. And her brother and sister were against her. So she would have been killed. She would have been killed. And she was bold enough to be this contradiction, you know? So it kind of represents this strong feminine power, but it also really represents not that at all. She kind of manipulated Caesar and later on Mark Antony to, you know, bend to her will in a way, you know? Such strong feminine power, but then also giving into seducing and letting them really run the show, them being the head and her being the neck, right? Is what it was really about, you know, because she had herself wrapped in a rug delivered to Caesar's bedroom. And this is how he made this decision to make her the Pharaoh of Egypt and not her siblings. And then her siblings were killed. You know? And then when everything happened there is this contradictory between it's love, but she almost really gave him no choice. Is how this feels. So there is almost a way for you to use your magical power that's a little bit, I want to say, wrong. But do it anyways, is how this feels. Like, use that influence that you got. Use an influence that you have. That may be contradictory. That's the message. Wow. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm not kidding. Riches and eccentricity. Like you're an alien that landed here and you're elite. This is like what Abraham Hicks talks about, where she says, you know, she tells a lot of stories, but I don't know what story this was about, but I think it was her niece or something who was like saying, or somebody was saying, I wish things were fair. And Esther Hicks was thinking to herself, they already are. They already are. There is a way that you're going to use your manifestation, your alchemizing, your intoxicating aura, your contradictory energy. There's almost like you're a face of a movement. There's popularity that is going to come to this, and you're the face of this. There is a way that you're going to use this eccentricity about you to get riches. And it may feel wrong to do this. It may feel like there's something here that it feels like it's wrong. It feels like it's toxic, but it's not. Is how this feels. Because Cleopatra doing what she did, is that the best thing for feminine energy to, you know, seduce your way to building this empire, right? Or to having your part at ruling this empire and that being your legacy, right? But at the time, that was really unheard of. So this is kind of like saying there is a way that it is progress or something. But there is a way that you are rewriting this. Yeah, that's what the message is going. There's a way that you're rewriting this, whether you're male or female, okay? Because there's something here where in society, there is a lot that I'm going to use this as an example of about women, but you don't have to be a woman. It doesn't have to be about this at all. But there's something here that you represent, and there is a norm, and that norm is wrong. The energy that it represents can be so much more, and you represent the change and the shift into it being more, and riches will be given to you for your boldness and out of the boxness. Okay? And it's like this. It's like, you know, arguably in the world, the history of the world, women have been, you know, all they have to offer is, you know, their ability to procreate and, you know, men treating them like sex objects, the way that they look, right? And Cleopatra used this to get. But there is something here that is shifting, that there is something else that can be used. Where you're not having to, and who knows, maybe she really did love Caesar and Mark Antony, right? But there's something here there is a price that doesn't have to be paid anymore. And you represent that. You represent, this is the new normal for what it means to be whatever this is. Or I don't have to kind of lower myself to manipulate to get something that I deserve. But this is on a big scale. This is on like a grand scale. I feel like, is this even making sense the way I'm trying to say this? I just saw macaroni and cheese, and the kind of macaroni and cheese that has shapes. And of course we have the hyena. Yes. Okay. You know, hyenas got a bad rap. They really do. And like female rulers, for Cleopatra to be a ruler, and it's like she had to kind of use this seducing energy, you know? Well, can't you just be this beautiful feminine energy and get this because of your mind, you know? Nobody really talks about how intelligent it really is and strategic it really is, what she did, you know, to save her own life, really, to be honest. Because it's not like she could have just let her sister and brother be king and queen or pharaoh and she could have just fled somewhere. They would have found her. They would have tracked her down because it would have been an uprising, and then, you know, they can't risk that. So there's something here about, there's something hidden that's now going to be seen, that's now going to be, and then there's something real because the platypus has been there since the beginning of time. So there's something real that you represent, because Hatshepsut, nobody talks about Hatshepsut, and she is actually Egyptian, and she was the first female pharaoh, arguably the first female ruler in the world, the history of Earth. How insane is this? And nobody knows her name, nobody talks about her. She was before Cleopatra, and she was actually Egyptian. And, she did it through boldness. I'm going to get to the hyena in a second, but this matters because there's something here where you're been there all along, but coming out and being seen and thriving in your own elite way, but being this boldness and this face where it's still talked about and it's loved and adored, but it doesn't compromise anything. And you're getting to be seen as more. There was a time when a female ruler was unheard of. So Cleopatra being a female ruler, it is progress. So it is a stepping stone. At the same time, it's like you're representing, in whatever it is you're doing, you're representing all of this stuff. That's why eccentricity is here. It's like it's not known in this world to be all of these things. It's like you're the exception, And Hatshepsut, she married the pharaoh, and he died, and she had a son who was like, I don't know, 8 months old or something. And they believed in the connection between the mother and the baby. So they would just ask her, what is the baby saying? On like state matters of world matters for ancient Egypt, whatever they had to do back in those days, whatever the ruler had to decide. She was just saying, and like after about, I don't know, a few months, a year or so, she was like, they would go out and they would say, in the name of Pharaoh, and they would say the baby's name. And then one day she was like, okay, I said it, not him. He's a baby. I'm the ruler. I'm the Pharaoh. So you're going to go tell the people that Pharaoh Hatshepsut said this. And they were like, okay. And they did it. And nobody questioned it. And Egypt thrived over her ruling. So anyways, the hyena is also ruled by the feminine. And in The Lion King, what we know about hyenas, what the world knows about hyenas is what? Is that they're bad. They tried to kill Simba, they tricked Mufasa. They're back in Scar, These creatures are brutal. But no, they're not. It's actually the only creature where women rule and men are just kind of there, Male or female? Look at this card here. There's something here on your journey that you represent about the feminine. And if you really feel connected to being more masculine and you're still here in this reading, you're gonna fall in love with a woman that represents this energy, or a feminine that represents this energy. Doesn't matter about gender. So there you go. Riches will come to you. Let's use the actual Egyptian deck here. I'm using everything but it. Why? Wow. Okay, Page of Cups, the 5 of Cups in the Tower here. There's somebody is going to come and tell you that you avoided a disaster. Someone is going to come and tell you that you made the right decision. That's the first thing that I said, and that's what this is. Somebody is telling you that what you did, should I have really, I should have walked across that river with a goat on my back? Was I being ridiculous? No, that was about to fall, what you're leaving. You did a good job. That's what this is kind of saying. So there's a journey that you're on now. You're on a journey, and this journey is going to take you places that you have no idea what this is going to take you and what this is going to do for humanity here, what you're doing. Wow. What is this reading? Cleopatra, Hepatitsu, dang. Okay, 5 of Wands, 10 of Wands, and the 5 of Swords. You could be really worried. You could really feel like, did you make the right decision? Did you make the right decision? Look at the Magician here. It could really feel like I'm here and I did this decision to go on this journey. I'm embracing this bold. You're starting to do it. This is like Hepatitsu. The first few times she was like, yeah, Pharaoh Hepatitsu. But like she's still, when she first started saying that, she was probably like, okay, are they going to kill me in my sleep? Like, testing her food, looking around, could I trust this one? Could I trust? Very hyper vigilant, assessing, is this safe? She ruled ancient Egypt for like 17 years or something. So yeah, she was fine. But in the beginning, it was like, are they just acting like they're cool with this and they're going to behead me in the middle of the night? Who knows, right? So this is that kind of energy here that you're experiencing. You made some kind of drastic changes, and what's coming in is really big. If you're going to bake a cake and you decide to just take a little bit of cake batter and just plop it like a little drop and you put it in the oven, it's going to be done in 2 seconds. But if you're making a wedding cake, you need hours. So there's something here where you have alchemized something into something really big. And you made the right decision. And look at this. The Empress, the 3 of Cups, and the Chariot. So this is what I'm telling you. There's something here that you're doing that's going to be seen by the masses, and you're going to be receiving riches for this. The Magician is here again as well. And there is something here, the 5 of Wands. It's contradictory, but do it. And just keep going in that direction, and you're going to see. You're going to see this take off. You're going to watch this unfold. Okay. This is what I have for you. Thank you. I love you. If you want a personal reading, in the description. If you want to change, you don't know what to do, hypnosis could be for you. You could get a session with me. All the information about that is in the description. Okay. Thank you. I love you.